On today's episode of Nostalgic Knickknacks, your fuse bead art is center stage. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nostalgic Knickknacks. My name is Ryan, and I'm not going to talk too much here because I have another fuse bead art showcase that I'm doing in this episode. If you haven't seen one of these before, basically I put out a post on Facebook and I tell people I would love to see their perler art, their fuse bead art. I go through all of the wonderful fuse bead art and talk about it, comment on it, give my thoughts, and hopefully this will inspire you and also celebrate the wonderful work of beading artists everywhere. If you love what you see in this video and you want to share your fuse bead art in the future, please send it to my email. It's down below in the description. And if you see that Facebook post, just go ahead and submit your art and I will add it to my next video. I usually try to do these at least once a month and I love doing them. I love seeing what people are creating out there. Let's go ahead and get into the submissions for this month. I did this on the Perler Bead group and on Stephen Rhodes Mystery School, Perler Bead Mystery School group, and I'm going to go ahead and just run right through them. I'll mention the person's name and you'll see it here on the screen. And I was so surprised at this time that I had 47 comments, and most of these comments are different people. Sometimes people post more than one project they're working on, which is still fantastic. I did not set a limit on how much you could actually submit. So let's go ahead and run through them and see what kind of amazing art there has been out there this month. So let's go ahead and look at the first one here by Hannah. And this is Kane from Amazing Digital Circus. Now, I don't know what this show is or anything, but this is a really interesting looking character. I like how happy he is and that there are eyes inside of a set of teeth here. Very cool and unique and intriguing. So if you know Amazing Digital Circus, you're very happy to see this. And you did an amazing job, Hannah. I really like the colors that you chose. I love the shading here. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see there's some shading here with this, the scepter, the end of it, or this cane here. There is some cheddar going into the yellow. I really like the way that looks. You did such a good job with that. And there is quite a bit of gray in here as well, or light gray, to make up those teeth. So many different colors. And the legs just look so cool. Little black spindly legs. I love it. So great job on that. Thank you for being the first one to submit with the Perler Bead group. And I really do like this. The next submission is from Russell. This is a freehand Mickey West Coast hand sign. Let's check this out. So this is free-handed. You made a hand free-handedly. I love that. I love the way this looks. It looks really cool. It's a West Coast hand sign. And you did a great job free-handing this. The spacing is very accurate. It looks accurate and appropriate. Looks like you got some glow in the dark here, I think. But overall, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. And if you are very familiar with the West Coast hand sign, hey, let me know in the comment down below that you like this. I do love what you did here, Russell. Thank you so much for submitting. Next, I have Alana's skeleton earrings. So we got some scary, spooky skeleton earrings. They look really cool. I love this, the dark shadow of that purple or that lavender you've got, and the white. It's very simple and effective. That shadow really does add a lot to these skeleton earrings. You know, they could just be white and that would be sufficient, but you went above and beyond and did those shadows, and you can really tell as you zoom out that there is more definition because of that shadow. Great job, Alana. The next one is really cool. This is from XTL, or Ellie, and It is a Mario frame. It's a picture. We've got Mario here, this whole setting. I love it. I love the bullet bill. I love that it's got a brown border around it, a brown frame. And if I zoom in some, you can really see some great work going on here. Love what you did with the Goomba and the coins. Everything is so very appropriate. And I just want to point out you got some blue there in the cloud, so it almost looks like the cloud is blending in the background a little bit there. And that's a great choice. I love the blocks up here, and you got the vine coming out. Mario looks really neat. I like him. Looks like a different sprite, or you did it a little differently, but I really do like that. So great job on everything here. Really sets the mood. It makes me want to jump in and play Mario right now. So thank you so much, Ellie, for that one. Next up, I have from Stepichu's Tempest. I have a Furion made from the anime Furion, and I haven't ironed it yet. Super nervous. Don't be nervous about it. Pattern made by Tenacious Beads. I think I've done a Tenacious Beads submission here before, so let's take a good look at it. You did an amazing job, and don't be afraid to iron this. This looks incredible, and it can be scary to iron your projects, especially when they're bigger and you have invested a lot more time in it. Trust me, it's worth taking your time, whether you do the tape method or you don't. I have videos on how I don't use the tape method, so check those out if you haven't. But this is really great. You should not be nervous at all. And if by the time you're watching this that you have finished this and it was successful, please let me know in the comments. I just want to encourage you to take your time. And you know what? Even if it comes out and it's not as great as you thought it would be, hey, you still learned a lot through the process. That's why I like to always say to people watching the videos, people out there, hey, you learned a lot, and next time it's going to be even better. Next, we have Stephanie submitting Deku from My Hero Academia. I like this show. I watched the first 2 seasons. I still haven't gotten back into it, but it was a cool show, and I'm sure it has a anime or a manga and everything. But here we go. We've got the main character, or one of the main characters from My Hero Academia. I like the way this is very rectangular, like a strip of paper. You can see part of his face, and it's just a nice profile. I love that background color too. That really stands out. Great job on everything here. The shadows in his mouth here with the teeth, the shadows on the eye. The hair looks really wonderful. Very nicely laid out there. So great job with Deku. Heather has submitted a Christmas themed or a Pokemon themed reef that she made a couple of years ago. And thanks for submitting this. We've got a Pikachu here, I believe, or something else. I forget what this one's called. We got that scary looking Pokemon there, and I believe that is a Haunter or a Gengar or something. I'm not familiar with all of the Pokemon here, but I do know that's Pikachu, and that's a Pokeball and an Ash Ketchum. We got some different elements here. I really like this reef, and it looks pretty large here. I'm sure you could put it on a smaller door, but it fits in very well. Everything's very well ironed. And great job on this. I do love the detail. I'm curious if you created all of this just piecing it together, or if you had a pattern you were following, because you did it just placing it together. You did a great job. Either way, great job, great work. And let's go on to the next one. Okay, next, Gina has a Zen Yoga Frog for Toadface. I got to gift it to him when he came to play in Asheville. So I'm not familiar with this musician, but this is really neat that you made it for him. That is a cool looking frog. I'm going to zoom in on that frog there. Look at that frog. Now that frog looks very peaceful, I have to say. Great job with the shading here. Can't zoom in any closer, but it looks like everything looks so good. Excellent work there. Thanks for submitting this, and it looks like you had a great time at that event. Carla has submitted this huge piece. This is a 3D art piece. Wow, look at that work. For the main character in that anime with the pirates and everything. Right now it is escaping my mind what it's called. One Piece, that's what it is. One Piece. And I really like what you did here. This is amazing. Look at all of the layers of beads. That is really incredible. Wow. And a stand to go on too. This is really amazing. And as I was saying, so inspiring to see these works of art. Something that I really haven't even gotten into myself. Just, again, a phenomenal work. Great work on this. And looks like that's the glue that you were using there in the background. Incredible. Thank you so much for submitting this. And if you didn't have enough 3D art yet, Carla has submitted a couple of more. Here is a ginormous Pikachu. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? Wow. Look at that. All those layers. So much work here. You should be very proud of yourself for these huge 3D projects. I really need to step up my game in this category. This is great inspiration for me. And I've got one more for everybody here. This is, of course, we have Winnie the Pooh. Look at Winnie the Pooh. And there he is. He's got his honey. I love it. I love that. Love, love, love. He looks so good. All three of these are fantastic. Fantastic. I really am jealous. I need to step up my game when it comes to 3D perler art. And if you are a 3D perler artist out there, please let me know. I'd love to learn more about how this works. Oh, Street Fighter 2, of course. Bill, this is fantastic. You framed it and donated it to a local arcade. So this is specifically Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And we've got all the little characters here representing the fighters from Street Fighter, and they are looking really cool. All the details are there. It's got the same sprite body, but a different design depending on what character you are looking at. Excellent work. I have to say my favorite is probably this guy here. I forget his name. I'm not the best at these Street Fighter names, but that guy right there. That guy right there, I like his hat. I love the eye patch here, the dreads. Wonderful. Thank you so much for submitting that. And excellent that you donated it to a local arcade. And the fact that you even have a local arcade is just puts where you live to the top of my list. That is so cool. Next up, Chelsea has a Rainbow Ninetales from Pokemon, of course, by Pixel Bombs. There we go. Look at that. That's a lot of work right there. Wow. So we got the background, and then we got the Ninetales there. Look at all those colors and the wonderful shading that you have. Wow, that's really cool. Everything looks so good. I love the shading in the tail. That is my favorite part of this project, is that tail, and that really is the most extensive area that you had to work on. Wow, look at that. We got some dark light. We got three colors in each one of these. You really do have a handle on that fuse beading palette, and I am very envious. I love this. We got Carlos in here, and Carlos is standing there with a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade made out of perler beads. Wow. Dude, this is awesome. Look at that. What a great picture. And all of this homemade from perler beads. Man, you rock. And you can grip it, you can hold it, you have a chain coming down from it. This is really amazing. And what a pose. I love the expression on your face. Wow. Dude, nobody's going to mess with you with this Keyblade here. Excellent work. I'm telling you, you can make weapons from all different RPGs. But this is one of the best, one of the most unique weapons, and you did it in such a cool fashion here. Okay, Brian is stepping up the game here. Watch out, Carlos. Brian has a whole outfit. Wow. Jeez, look at that. I don't even know what to say here. This is pretty epic. So he's got the vest here. He's got the arm pieces or the hand pieces. We got some ammunition there. A helmet. The pants or the shorts. The shoes. Wow. That is incredible. Again, amazing what kind of art I'm seeing from people. Tabby has Rick and Morty. So we got a Rick and Morty here. They look very happy. I like the way they look. You did a great job ironing them. And all your colors are really nice. I do like that. The expressions on their faces. They are shocked. They have been made into fuse bead art here. Great work. We got a few more submissions from Tabby here. So Chucky from Child's Play. Scary movie, not the movie for me, but I see you got it here. The face looks good, and I like the way the dark there is. The black is representing the different tears in the face, and colors look good. You're ironing, I think you're ironing a little too much in here. You got some air bubbles, but overall, you're doing great. Keep it up. You will get better as time progresses and you keep practicing. Don't be afraid of under ironing because sometimes we iron a little too much. But excellent work there. And then we have one more, Cheech and Chong. I like these character choices here. You got some great work going on. And yeah. So there's Cheech and Chong. Few more here in this group, and then I'm going to switch over to the other group. I have Raul. Raul here has some of these Pokemon. I forget what they're called, but it looks really cool. I love the way you got some different setups here. You got the canvas in the background, and then you got them with keychains. Great work. What's very tricky about Pokemon when you're making them is that to get the colors right. I struggle with that sometimes, and I second guess myself. But these colors are looking really good here. Thank you so much for submitting that. Kathleen still has a piece that she's working on, but my 50-inch long Furion staff that I'm working on for a cosplay. So here we go. Just like that Keyblade, I'm seeing some excellent work. Really phenomenal that you put the time into this. And this show must be very popular, this Furion show. Wow. I really do love this. I especially love the sparkle in the middle. Right there, that's cool. I have a video submission here, so we're going to check that out. A set of samurai armor. Stand right there. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The way it's bending and everything. Amazing kid. Wow. My goodness, I have to stop it here. Look at the amazing detail. Incredible. Wow, that doesn't even look like perler art from a distance. I mean, look at the back too. It is all around. This is something I'm sure that took several months. I really do love this. And you got the threading in there too, and that's what's holding it together. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. I am flabbergasted with what I see. You guys did not disappoint today. Marianne has a piece here. This is Makar from the Korok in Legends of the Wind Waker. There's 3 layers full melts glued together to make him. If you do put me in your video, you can tag me on Instagram instead of my Facebook, and I'll show that in a little bit. But here is the character. Look at that. I love the layers. I've never seen this before. So each piece was made separately and assembled in layers. And it's not a big 3D piece, it's more of a more narrow, smaller 3D piece. I do like this idea. Thanks for showing this. I really didn't know that or realize you could do something like this with a smaller piece and not a full 3D piece. A unique take on 3D art, absolutely. And you can find Marianne here at Pokemon.perlerart. Okay, so check out what she's doing there on Instagram. And I'll give a like here. Speaking of giving a like, please make sure you take a moment and like this video if you enjoy what I'm doing. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and finish up looking at some excellent perler bead art. I had to go back up a little bit because I missed a few of these. So this is from Tiffany, Celestial Witch, from Stitch Sprout Cross Stitch Patterns with My Own Twist. So there is that. I really do love, Tiffany, the way you have flat melted this piece. Really cool to see that there's so much consistency in this. I mean, if we zoom in even more, it is totally pixelated in such a great way. So thank you for submitting this and for the hard work on that iron. That is really good. And bringing this from a cross stitch pattern into a fused bead pattern, incredible work here. And she has another piece here, the same piece with a background that was added. So just wanted to mention that one as well. Jerry has submitted an incredible helmet here. Let's take a look at it. He says 6 hours of sitting to knock this one out. Man, you did an awesome job here, and I love it. Great piece. I love the work on the helmet end here, where it goes along the face, and this base part here, and the shape is incredible. The face part is looking really good. Everything's consistent, and hopefully an iron well for you. Chelsea says, I made Super Mario coasters. These are from Super Mario Bros. 3. Isn't that such a cool idea? I've seen things like this online, but yours are looking super cool, super fun. Love the yellow. That's a great color choice, by the way. And look at that NES controller there. I think this is an excellent idea, especially if you were to dip them in a resin or something to preserve those beads. Cristello Love Bello. Not a character, but a canvas piece I just got done doing for a 2-day art festival coming up in my city. You can credit my art page if you use this. That's where I post all my art. So the Adorably Nerdy, I'll zoom in a little bit here, the Adorably Nerdy Creations page. So if you want to check out the other things that she's doing, it's right here, right there, you see it. And you can find that page on Facebook. 262 followers. So she's got quite a following. Let's take a good look at this cat. Wow, I love the colors. They really stand out. Bright colors are always so good, especially when you're mixing them with some darker colors. Like you got some great shadows of that grape, and then you got the blue, and you got the yellow and the pink in between, or that flamingo or something like that, the bubble gum maybe. I really do like this. Thank you so much for submitting it. And please check out her other work, like I was saying, with that Facebook page. Jen says, my bathroom from the first Mario game made with mini beads. Let's look at this. Wow. Those are tiny. Look at those guys. Zoom in a little bit. It's hard to capture mini beads. This is really cool. I love the clouds, those little tiny clouds. This represents so much work, and it's exhausting working with mini beads a lot of the times, but you have so much patience here, and thank you so much for your hard work. You should be very proud of this. It's a unique piece. a closer picture here so you can see Bowser and Mario fighting it out on the bridge. And we also have Piranha Plant and Koopa. Great job on that. I love the way the lava looks. It really stands out. And this piece here is so big and so phenomenal looking. So this is from Amanda, Final Fantasy X, and wow, we got some Final Fantasy X here. Look at that. Love all the colors that were used on Infant, the fire summon, Aeon, I believe they call it in Final Fantasy X. Look at that. And she painted the background. That is so cool looking and definitely fits in with Inference. His whole thing there with fire and that dark pink color really does fit in well. Great job on all the colors, especially with the tassels here, the earring tassels. Wow. I am very, very much liking this piece, and it looks like this may have been mini beads. It's very small. Let me know if it's mini beads. I really do love this. Jillian has a Cyclops Perler from Subtronics. So there we go. Look at that. It is a Cyclops. It's very bright and colorful. Subtronics, not familiar, but thank you. I'm sure there are other people that are very familiar with this. And it looks like it's very well ironed. And I just like that it's very colorful. So thank you for submitting that. Nico Robin. Melissa has submitted before, and she has Nico Robin from One Piece here. Pattern measures 11 inches tall. We got an 11-incher here on the super board. I like this character. I like that hat. Very stylish looking. The colors you chose look very appropriate for the character. Even though I don't know the character, I think they're very well done. And I like the way you have your beads laid out here. You got this color and these colors ready. So you're very prepared and organized. You can find her right here on Instagram. So check that out. It's right there. Benjamin has submitted before. I really like this. So we got Samus Aran from Metroid, of course. And we have a huge Samus Aran here. Look at that. Wow. This, I'm sure, took you a long time to do. I really do like that green glow that's coming from the sides and the sides of the arms, the chest there, and the all around that suit and the legs and the gun. That is a nice glow. Wow. This must have taken you such a long time. I really do love it. And the highlights, of course, are great as well. A great balance of colors here. Thank you, Benjamin, for submitting this. All right, Suni here, orange, and I think maybe the pieces are hung together by beads as well. Maybe flat beads that you iron together. Please let me know that. It looks like there's some string at the top, of course, or fishing line. I always love seeing these types of hanging projects. They really impressed me too. All the hard work of putting each piece together and assembling. And I have not attempted anything like this, and they do look incredible. Here we have from a person named Slater, or Splatter. Here we have a person. This next picture here is from Splater, and he was posting about a resin gaming desktop. Isn't that really neat? So this is all in resin. And you got different characters from all kinds of different games here. I see Mega Man, see a Koopa, Ninja Turtle, and we've got Link there, and Bowser, and we've got Stormtroopers fighting against a Black Mage, the Joker, all kinds of, and Little Nemo's right there. What a great idea. I'd love to see how this is when it's completed, because you say that this is supposed to be part of your gaming desktop, so I think that's a really neat idea. But thanks for submitting this. So here we are at Stephen Rhodes' Perler Bead Mystery School group. And this will be the last group I have for today. So I've got a bunch submitted here by Shelly. So thank you, Shelly. I have seen your work here before. And let's take a look at baby Bugs Bunny. He's looking great. You did a wonderful job ironing. And just keep working on it. Keep improving. I love the colors that were chosen here. He looks very cute. And then next we have Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone. You gotta love Fred Flintstone. All these characters are so classic. There he is, from his feet to his head. Cute little mini people. I think these all turned out really great. So easy to make these small characters. I've done a few myself, and they have so much expression even though they're so small and tiny. Then we have a Japanese doll. Shelly's got a Japanese doll there. Yeah, she looks good. I would have to say, just make sure you don't over iron. It's easy to do it, and you can have that glossy effect going on if you iron too much. But try out a few where you're not ironing as much, and they'll come out even better. Then we got Abe Lincoln. He's looking good. Gotta love Abe Lincoln's profile. Next, I have Jessica, and this is a huge piece. Look at that. Look at the font style of the trees or something like that. This is really great from start to finish. I love the curviness of it, the almost frightening nature of it, and very well done. Took a lot of time to try to get that right. From the tiny narrow pieces to the wider pieces, it all fits very well together. So hard to do writing with fused bead art, and you seem to have it quite a bit under control here. Great work. Jessica also sent in so many more pieces. I'm going to go through these. So here's the first one, a mandala effect. Amazing work. Really like what's going on here and all the colors. We got a big monster looking character with lots of toes there, and look at that face. There's only a face that only a mother could love. A little plant here, so happy. I like that. A little more simple, but I love the shading there with the greens. And look at this guy. Wow, look at the shading with that. That's even more complex. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 greens, and we got 3 shades of the pinks and reds there, or pinks and all the way to blue bubble gum. So I like how the smile here is muted, but you can still tell what it is. A few more from Jessica. There's a really cute character, and those leaves look very realistic. Wow, amazing work on the leaves. Look at that. That is absolutely phenomenal work with that shading and the shading on the face there. That is really cool. Good job on that. Zingara, there's some more fonts there. You really do have a knack for the fonts, for the words. Don't know what this means, but cool to see it. I just love all the curves in it. Almost like a roller coaster here. Going up and going down and zigzagging. And one more small one here. It's a small little symbol. I like it. This is a DeLorean, of course, from Back to the Future. Look at that thing rotating around on that little turntable. Look at those wheels. I love the way the wheels were done. I wonder if the doors move up and down. But even if they don't, still a work of art here. Amazing work. Even the details on the inside there, check that out. And I am floored. Girly, thank you so much for submitting this. DeLorean, so many layers of fun here. Okay, I've got 3 more left. It's been such a great video and so many submissions. Hopefully this hasn't been too long for everybody. So, Girly also has a 2D picture here. We've got, wow, we got some amazing works of art here framed and photorealistic pieces here. I mean, look at that. What detail in the grays and whites and the blacks here. Man, if I just had the gumption to sit down and do something like that, that is so wonderful. Look at that piece. Wow. What? This is hours and hours and hours of work here. Thank you for submitting this. I am so astonished by what I'm seeing today. Oh, and here's a 3D piece. We got one more. We got Blastoise. Look at that guy. Man, I'm curious how you actually got all of this supported here. Jeez. That took some serious work. Serious work. And you got a Pokeball as the stand. I guess they're all just glued together, but they can't weigh too much because they would weigh the rest of it down. But I'm curious, let me know, how did that work? And then one last one here, we got Patricia with a merry band of Pokemans. Look at those guys. Wow. They're all on a table. They look like they're really big, but they are on a table here. And you've got 3 of the Eevee characters there, 2 there, 3 there, and 1 here. And they're all just so happy. I mean, they kind of remind me of cats, honestly, and what they would be doing in ice cream cones. But I love it. Thank you so much for submitting this. I love how clear your picture is here. It's some excellent photography. Wow, that's all the submissions today, but man, I'm inspired to just sit down and do some more perler beading. Are you inspired? This is so fantastic. I'm astonished. I'm taken aback and just overall inspired. So hopefully it helped you stay inspired today. Unbelievable what kind of art people are creating. It is truly amazing to me, and I say it every time, but I am so impressed with what is being put out there. And people that are making some huge pieces, complicated pieces, detailed art. Just seeing some of the creative pieces that are being created out there really inspires me. So I hope it inspired you today. Stay tuned for more Fuse-Beat art showcases in the future. And if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also hit that hype button, and that will help me out as well. Thank you so much for watching. I pray that you have a fantastic day. And until next time, go check out some amazing Fuse-Beat art out there and have some happy beading.